Want to talk some data management? I do.
Always. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Jason Tatji is the CEO of Farmobile, and he joins us right now. Jason, how are you, man? It's good to talk with you.
I'm doing really good. Thank you for having me.
You bet. Now, Jason, data in, data analysis, putting the right, taking the right direction from the data, and then making the right decisions from it. It's a big challenge. Everybody's trying to do it all the time, and at Farmobile, trying to simplify that challenge so that guys can make better decisions, right?
That's the whole goal. The whole goal is to
Yep.
be able to make it easy to get data in, get it organized, and so you can start to use it to make, at least to feel better about the decisions you're making on your own operation.
How many guys are doing a good job of it, Jason?
I would say that a lot of the larger operations have dedicated people to do it, so they're doing a fairly good job of it. I would say that there's a larger percentage. I'm going to say that's maybe 10% of the acres have good planting records that are accurate and complete, that they can match up with harvest records. I think there's, probably a 90% opportunity for people to collect some data and start to get those planting records and those harvest records to match up, so they can really understand what products are performing best on the dirt that they're farming.
Yeah. One of the original real-time data feeds was that yield monitor. And you're doing something cool with that, Jason. Tell us about it.
So, the yield monitor it's the thing that's been sitting out there for a long time, and the farmers are the creators of this data. And so we're trying to create a way that, since they're the first ones to see that data, how can we give them an advantage in the marketplace? And so what we're doing is we're streaming data out of cabs of our subscribers, and then we're aggregating it on a nightly basis. So we're putting out a state yield number based upon actual ground truth data that's being collected by the farmers who are subscribers to Farmobile.
So, in other words, there's no more sitting in the combine cab looking at your yield, and at the end of the day, you see what your average yield was and wondering how it stacks up with everybody else in the state, because you can get how it stacks up against everybody else in the state, right?
Yeah, on an overnight basis, we'll bring all that together,
Yeah.
and that should help you in your marketing decisions. If you're
Yeah.
seeing, I was a grain trader in my past, and when I have a lot of guys calling me during harvest, it generally means that their yields are a little bit larger than they anticipated, which is why they're so interested right now. They got a little extra to sell, and the odds are, if yours are a little bit better, maybe your neighbors are a little bit better, and maybe their neighbor, it's probably a better feel for the region. And as a grain buyer at that time, I get a feel that a lot of people might have a lot of extra, so it helped. I'm a smart guy and I widen my basis. So if we can kind of set out a product where you can start to see if that yield number versus what the expectations are a little bit higher or a little bit lower, it's going to help you feel more confident in those decisions when it comes time to pulling the trigger on those extra bushels you got during harvest.
Perfect. Love that. Okay, Pro Farmer Harvest Report, powered by the Farm Mobile Index. What is this?
So on a weekly basis, we're going to take the numbers that we have and we're going to make them available to Pro Farmer subscribers, and then we're going to have a discussion about it on a weekly basis with you all to kind of update on what we're seeing coming in as this new piece of information can slowly drip its way into the market.
Yeah. I sit here, Jason, and I think about it, and I think about how powerful this kind of information could be, and it might be, but you got to have a big data set behind it. How much ground are we covering with the Farm Mobile Index?
We're probably going to get, I'm hopeful that we get to probably about 1.5 million to 2 million total acres this year by the time harvest is done with all of our subscribers.
Okay.
And so, is it a massive piece of data as a percentage basis? It's not. But the more by getting the information out like this, the opportunities out like this, we believe that we're going to attract subscribers and we're going to continue to make the index a more powerful tool for the grain marketing that happens from our subscribers. And the more data you can get there, the more accurate it's going to become. And let's be real, there's a lot of old processes that could be modernized when we start to release a lot of numbers to the market. And I think a steady drip of information to the market that's predictable is going to help us reduce our overall volatility in the
Interesting.
futures market due to these massive swings that we see from these reports that come out that are already in arrears anyways by the time they're released.
Yeah, that's interesting. The steady drip to remove some volatility. That's an interesting thought, Jason. And it seems to make sense. I want to make it very clear that we're talking about aggregated data. We are not talking about, okay, when I pull up the data, I'm going to be able to see how my yields from today compare to Joe Smith's yields from today. It's aggregated data, correct?
It's aggregated at the state level. So think of the state as one big boundary, and when you log in as a subscriber, you're going to see that state level's boundary for the information that's been collected in that state. And we allow users to see the information available in other states as well, and that's part of the feedback we've gotten from a lot of our growers, that it's interesting to see what's happening in other states that they normally wouldn't have access to, when they're just trying to make their marketing decision.
All right. How do we get more information on this, Jason?
You can go to farmobile.com, and we're happy to answer any questions we have. This is one of those personal things where people are really, an independent company like we have to be private is really important to us, and we're happy to answer questions with the good old-fashioned phone calls.
Excellent. We'll talk to you a week from today with some of the first numbers, all right?
I look forward to it.
Excellent. That is Jason Tatke. He is the CEO of Farmobile.